everyone. So I am very tired and it's close to midnight, but I want to keep up this streak of making videos every day of the 12 days of Christmas. I don't know if you could tell that that's what I was doing, but that's what I've been doing. I just wanted to rant for a second about the 2020 election. It is going to be a presidential election in the United States of America. However, Election Day is going to be in November of 2020. Not right now. Someone has already announced their candidacy in the Democratic Party, and that's cool. That's cool that they're running. I don't want to hear any more than that. Or I don't want to talk about it, at least. Everyone's welcome to talk about whatever they want, but I think that there are more important things right now to talk about than the people who may or may not be running for president in 2020. I understand that it's a very important thing. However, is it important right now? Is it more important than the war in Yemen? Is it more important than the current children who are being detained under ICE and are literally dying? Is it more important than the new representatives and the new Congress that just literally today started? It is not. Not right now. It is not our number one priority, and it shouldn't be. I am just getting very annoyed, and I've been annoyed since November 6th of 2018, to be honest. I've been annoyed that people are taking it upon themselves to point at someone and be like, she's running, he's running, they're running for president in 2020. And it's like, you sound ridiculous. There are real issues that need to be solved before we even stop to think about who is going to be president. And not to be all back in the day, but back in the day, it was the actual presidential run wasn't covered by the media until the candidates were actually running and going to Iowa to meet the people and convince them to join their caucus. It wasn't being discussed outside of political circles, but political circles have been conflated to the general media and has inflated to include the general population, and part of that's a good thing, but it's also so freaking annoying. I just want everyone to calm down and watch C-SPAN for a little bit, maybe, and focus on the legislation that may or may not be being passed right in front of our eyes while we're ignoring it in favor of the giant media circus that is the 2020 presidential election. Do you hear how ridiculous that sounds? November of 2020. It is January of 2019. Why are we thinking about this right now? There is so much governing that is happening between now and then. So, can we not talk about this until Iowa? Because that's when things really start getting decided anyway, and that's when candidates start actually clarifying their positions, and that's when we determine who is likable and who is not, and who seems like a good fit to be president of our nation and who does not. And I understand it's an important election. We need to get the president out of that office. But there is a lot we can do outside of focusing on the 2020 presidential election that is focusing on getting the president out and stopping his policies from being enacted, which I would say is more important than getting the president out, because it's honestly easier to stop policy from happening than it is to impeach the president at the moment. Who knows? In 3 minutes from now, I might be eating my words. But, it's just so frustrating to hear this talk about a female candidate announcing she's gonna run and immediately hearing how unlikable she is and how she's not a good fit and blah blah blah. And it's like, can we just calm down and focus on government instead of focusing on politics. Like, remember that? Government? The thing that's supposed to run our country? Please. Okay. That was crotchety, tired me talking. I will be in better spirits once I get some sleep. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Special thanks to Jay Patel for being my patron. If you would like to support my video work, head on over to my Patreon and check out the perks.